Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Who Gave Her a Mic with me, Samantha Kaye. I first want to I would just want to apologize because there's construction going on in my backyard. So if you hear drilling sounds, I am so sorry. I can't help it. I can't do anything about that. My friends, for years, really, have been like, Sam, you don't know how to shut up. You should have a YouTube channel. We totally watch it because at least we can skip. No, no one said that, but I can read in between the lines. But I've always been like, ugh, I don't want to edit videos. I don't have a camera, and my iPhone can only hold so much. So I decided to explore the podcast realm because I feel like long form, unedited content may be my thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Um, Today's topic will be how I think I could better Camp Rock, not the movies per se, but the company of Camp Rock. Um, I just think it's really important that I get that out, that I think I could run Camp Rock better. Oh, Camp Rock and Camp Star better than these washed up rock stars. And before we get to that, I want to I just want to, this is the very first episode. There are some things that we have to clarify about me, myself, and this content. I do have a few YouTube channel videos up at Samantha Kaye. You can also try to looking up Sammy with a Chance because that's also my handle. Because of my Twitch, which I also don't stream on as much as I want to because I only have my MacBook Air at the moment. My PC is not set up. The whole thing. So, I've had these like long form video essays planned up in my head. Even some of them I've written down, but I just never got the chance to sit down, set up a camera and just like talk. So I think this is gonna be really great because I also like don't have to show my face, so I don't have to get ready. I don't have to put makeup on. I'm recording this from my bed, so let's. I've been told my whole life, subtle brag, that my voice is made for radio, which I don't think people understand that that's low-key kind of a diss because that means that my face isn't made for TV or film. I guess you win some, you lose some. So yeah, I'm gonna do a bunch of different topics, on this podcast that are gonna just be I don't know, I guess pop culture related. And obviously today will be Camp Rock. Maybe the next episode will be me explaining my House of Anubis video. But yeah, today will be my Camp Rock video. I'm recording this on a Blue Yeti Nano. I wanted the Blue Yeti, like, period. Um, but unfortunately, I didn't. And literally months after I got this beautiful microphone, love it to death. Um, Yeti, like Blue Yeti, like the big one. They came out with a pink one, and I kind of just want to scream into a pillow. Cause are you kidding me? Oh my god. Anyway, so I'm gonna first give a little rundown, a little background story, a little summary, I guess, of Camp Rock 1 and 2 before I explain why I think I can do Camp Rock so much better than what Disney made the owners did. Also, I did buy a soundboard on my iPad because I watched Mike's video, so that's fun. That's gonna be a mainstay of this podcast. Okay. Before I get into the camp, you see, maybe I should get an outline for this before I just like turn on my microphone and say, "Yeah, this is gonna be a video now." Mike's mic recently had to shut down District 13 because his TikTok because of PB&J Gate, and on his most recent podcast. So today is the 11th, like 10, yeah, 11 10, 11 10, 2022. Or wait, it's different for everywhere. So it's okay. It's October 11th, 2022. And Mike had a problem. And he didn't understand the difference between jam and jelly in the States. And Mike came to the conclusion that it's different both in the States and in Australia. And I feel like that's wrong. No. I know that it's wrong. Because the only difference is the way that we serve it. So, jam comes... Okay. No. Jam is the jelly with the pieces of fruit still in it. So, it's like purposely smoshed already. And I'm guessing jam in Australia... I say that weird. I'm sorry. Australia. They kind of like their jelly is like solid jelly, which is, that's gelatin. That's how jelly is, like, naturally when you're done making it. But in America, we go the extra step and like have it like smushed. So we can put it in our PB&Js or like just putting it on toast and stuff like that. So there isn't a difference country-wise. There's a difference production-wise. So I just want to clear that up. So let me give like my little rundown of Camp Rock 1, right? It's who will I be? It's up to me. That one. It starts off there. Mitchie wakes up. She plays all 50,000 of her instruments in her room, which, first of all, instruments are so expensive. Like, if she really, really wanted to go to Camp Rock... I'll get to that. Sorry. Backtrack. Okay, so she walks out and she's on, like, the TV's on Hot Tunes. Which is, Hot Tunes, what I've gathered, is the MTV of, like, their world, if MTV still did the music videos. And I'm pretty sure at the time when I'm more than certain. At the time when the movie first came out, MTV still did, I don't know if they still do it, the music videos are, like, on the show, but, like, they were more in the morning. Like, I remember having to wake up around, like, 5 just to watch some music videos on my television to watch MTV. So, yeah. Hot Tunes is, like, the MTV of their world. And her mom's like, Mitchie, we can't go to Camp Rock. It's expensive. And she's like, I know, but I was hoping maybe you would change your mind. And I'm just like, Mitchie Torres. From one Torres to another. I am begging you, babe, if you care that much to go, there's nothing wrong with that. Then you're hoping that your parents were able to, like, take you to that club. Take you to this camp. But if your family is struggling, your dad owns a hardware store, your mom is a caterer, and you can't afford to go to Camp Rock, pick up a job. If not a job, pick up some shifts at the hardware store. Maybe pick up some shifts at your mom's catering business. Like, gather some of that money yourself. Be like, guys, I raised this amount of money. This amount of money. Can you meet me halfway, both of y'all? We can go threesies. We can split it up into threes. I really need to go to this camp at least once in my life. They're not doing that. They're just not doing it. But that's neither here or there, Mitchie. I'm really disappointed in you. So yeah, she's like, oh man, I can't go, goes to school, and then we see her friend that we never hear from ever again, which is like, why are you setting up this character that we're never gonna meet ever again, ever? But whatever, I guess they literally just used her to set up the the phrase in Mandarin that she can use later on in the movie. And then she gets home, and they're having burgers outside. And, like, you know, you leave school around, like, 3. And her father's home and her mother's home. No, I'm not about to say that. No, I am. If you guys are really, like, financially not doing that well, why are you home at 3 p.m.? Doesn't he have a hardware store to run? Doesn't her mother have some catering to do? Like, I don't know. Pick something up, you know? No, that's mean. I say that with a grain of salt. So from there, she's like, guys, why are y'all so excited? And her mom's like, Mitchie, we're going to Camp Rock. And she screams, and then we cut to Shane Gray. Shane Gray is like, do I have to go to this stupid camp? This camp is so dumb. And Nick's character's like, but we used to love this camp. And he's like, yeah, when we were 10. And I was like 8 when this movie came out. So I was like, oh my god, yeah, when I was 10, oh my god, yeah, he's so silly goofy. I was a Kevin girl, so I was kind of just like, you know, I was like homie hopping between the brothers when I was 8. Anyway, so yeah, and then we cut back to Camp Rock, and then they're all getting out of the bus, they're like, and they're like, you know, the bus, and I'm guessing the bus, because, okay, first of all, that entire, like, the basis of why Mitchie tells the lie that I'm going to talk about later, in the first place, is because every single person at Camp Rock, they're nepotism babies. Anyway, I think the bus is coming from, like, the airport, maybe, because I did see, like, there was, like, some, parents dropping off their kids. Of course, Tess comes in a limo. But, like, I feel like that bus is just, like, picking up kids from, like, airplanes. Because, like I mentioned, it's, you know, nepotism babies, and it's apparently a really well-known school, so obviously some people are flying their kids in, a la the camp from the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap, you know? So, yeah, they're like jamming out, and then, you know, Tess walks by, and like Demi Lovato's character's like, oh my god, I'm here. Mitchie's like, oh my god, who will I be here? And yeah, she's like having the time of her life. Bada bing, bada boom. She's like, wow, she's really good. Oh my god. No, because when she said, wow, she's really good to the girl performing during the first dinner, I was like, no, you're right. Say it again. She is really good. She is the best singer here. I'm so sorry. Who's got what it takes to make me shine? What it takes to make... No. Who's got what it takes to make me glow? What it takes to make me shine? What it takes to make me fired up? It's such a good song. It was my favorite song off of the entire movie. The entire movie, that was my favorite song. And I was literally the maddest person in the world because it wasn't always, like, it wasn't played in between shows on Disney Channel. But I digress. So sorry, I'm recording this on my bed. I had to move my... Okay, whatever. I don't have to explain this to you. I mean, wait, I technically do. I have time. I'm sorry, I'm just checking my time because I do, I've told myself to limit the length of my first podcast to see how well I'll do long form, especially because my voice loses out sometimes. Anyway. So... it's the first dinner. Who's got what? That performed already. And Tess spots Demi Lovato. And she's, Megan spots Demi. Tess spots Mitchie. And she's like, hi. And then Mitchie's like, oh my god, your mom is TJ Tyler. Yeah. And then Peggy's like, yeah, my dad's this producer. And then the other girl, Peggy, Tess, and what's her name? The other girl, the short one, the Asian one. Oh, I'm allowed to say that. No one was questioning if I could say that or not, but I am Asian, so I can say that she was the Asian one. Let me look it up. Camp Rock. Sorry. Her name was Ella. I forgot what Ella's parents did, but yeah, they were like nepotism babies. And Allison Stoner's character, Caitlin, her dad, I'm pretty sure, was also a producer. So okay, she's really good. You know, the little hand thing that she was doing, producing or whatever, DJing. I love that in the second movie they completely like everyone they saw how bad they were clowned on for that. So they just were like, Allison Stoner is literally a dancer. Let's just make her a dancing camper, you know? Like, why didn't they do that in the first place? But yeah. That being said, so everyone's like a nepotism baby there, which, okay, first of all, I don't fault Mitchie for lying, because if I'm surrounded by all these rich kids and the only reason why I was able to come to this really prestigious camp is because my mother was working at the camp as like the food people, the caterer, I'd be so embarrassed. Not now, obviously. Like, now that I'm like 21, I'm like, why would I feel shame that my mother worked hard to get me to this camp? When you're 15, 16, that is the end of the world. That is genuinely, like, did you not watch Glee? How people treated Marley's mom? Oh my goodness. Like, yeah. I too would have lied. I too would have been like, my dad owns a hardware store. And when they started walking away, yeah, I would have totally been like, but my mom is, she owns a boutique in China. And then she says the phrase in Mandarin. And then she's like, and she's also the president of Hot Tunes China. And everyone's like, that's so sick. And because obviously it was like, 2008. No one was going to be like, Let me just Google that real quick. Let me just make sure you're not messing with us, Mitchie. Everyone's like, oh, sick. Because who would lie about that? Mitchie would. So she's like, oh my God, I'm in with the girls. And then she moves into their bunk. And they're like, you write music. Can you sing something for us? And she's like, no, I'm good. No. I think people forget that they say, that's really good, multiple times in the movie. Mitchie says it about the girl who sings, who's got what it takes? And then Ella and Peggy are like, wow, you're really good. In the scene where she shows them her music. And the dance scene where the stop the music, come on everyone, let's, that little breakdancing moment, I'm pretty sure they're like, wow, he's really good, in like the crowd, like they say that constantly, and they clown on that one moment. They should have made a compilation of all the times they've said something on like that along those lines of, wow, that's really good, because oh my God. Anyway, so yeah. And then she's like playing on the piano while helping her mom set up in the kitchen. And first of all, for such a crowded camp, you don't think anyone like while playing like a game of hide and seek? Because if I was at a camp like that, a sleepaway camp, you better believe I'd be playing hide and seek. And my first place to hide would totally be in the cafeteria. But no, I guess that's not realistic for you, Camp Rock. Anyway, so she's like, this is real, this is me, I'm exactly where I'm supposed. And then Shane's like, oh my God, she's such a good singer. And then, you know, whatever, you know, continue, blah, 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 blah. Everyone finds out that Mitchie's lying. And, okay, one, I don't get why everyone at the camp was mad at her. I feel like if I was a camper and I heard, oh my God, did you hear that Mitchie Torres lied about her mother being the president of Hot Tunes China? I'd be like, oh wow, that's so like messed up that she would do that. That's it. I don't get why there was like a whole crowd of people being like, "Oh my god, she lied." Um, she knew nothing. She knew no Chinese whatsoever, no Mandarin, no nothing. And y'all were like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Her mom totally is the president of Hot Tunes China." What? And like, okay. And then like I get why Tess, Peggy, and Ella would be mad. I completely understand. Completely. But I don't get why Shane was so pissed off. I don't get it. Because it's not like she directly told Shane, "Yeah, my mom is the president of Hot Tunes China. Let's make out and like and like relate over our love for music." No. She walks in on him playing the guitar on the deck, on the pier, and she's carrying a big box of chips. She's carrying a big box of chips, and he didn't put two and two together. He didn't at least think, maybe she's volunteering in the kitchen while at camp. That's that's cool. No, his first assumption was, wow, you're gonna eat all those chips. That makes no sense. Literally no sense, Shane. Oh my god. Make BFFR. Be being for real. Okay. So he's like, "You lied. You lied to me to get close to me. She didn't tell you that her mother was the president of Hot Tunes China. You guys went canoeing. And then you were like, you must know how it feels. You with your mom being the president of Hot Tunes China, of course." If you're caught in a boat with a celebrity who thinks you're rich and famous, don't you think that she wouldn't be like, "Actually, I lied so Tess wouldn't, dump me as a friend." I wouldn't, because if he is a teen celebrity who's known for lashing out on set and stuff like that, I'd be scared for my life if I told him that I actually lied about being rich and famous like he was. Like, I'd be scared. I'd be like, "Yeah, people use me all the time." Like, I'd be so stressed out. So everyone finds out. She becomes an outcast except for Caitlyn, because Caitlyn knew for a little bit. And, Final Jam happens. Peggy wins. Bada bing, bada boom. Second movie. It's kind of like, "It's a brand new day, so completely." And then they're like, "There's a camp across the lake." And blah, 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 blah. I think a lot of people know how Camp Rock 2 goes. Because it's like more recent, literally 2 years after the first movie. And blah 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 blah. It's a brand new day, blah 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 blah. There's a lot of tensions between both camps, like within each other. "I hope you're ready for the time of your life." Like, things are happening. "Just look at me, I put a gleam in your eye. Buckle up, I'm gonna take you for a ride." Like, crazy, right? And then at the end, Camp Star wins. At the end, Camp Star wins, but Camp Rock. Okay, so the rules of the competition, the live competition, was that the camp that lost could no longer be a camp. They had to shut down. So tell me this. How was Camp Rock gonna take in all these new campers that were from Camp Star, and they're like, "You guys are having so much more fun than we are. Can we join?" Like, no. I mean, for the final campfire you can, but literally you can't come next year because the rules, like the terms of service for the competition, was that you could no longer be a camp. So, yeah, that was like dumb. That was so dumb for Brown, the camp counselor, to accept the whole whoever loses has to close down the shop. Like, that's so dumb. Why couldn't you be like, what's wrong with whoever loses has to move, like, the location of the camp? Like, there can be more than one big music camps, the same way that there's like many big like basketball camps, track camps. Like it's like so dumb. It's like so dumb. Um but yeah, I just never understood that. And I feel like, okay, I want to add another thing. When I was like, when the movie first came out, I really really wanted to go to Camp Rock. And Disney saw how amazing Camp Rock did amongst the kids that I was so certain at like second grade, third grade, that they were going to make a real Camp Rock. Like, Disney's Disney. They'll take any opportunity to make money. Um, I just I swore they were gonna make a real Camp Rock. I was hoping they were gonna make a real Camp Rock and that I'll be able to go, Mom, I really want to go to Camp Rock. And then my mom, after like a month of me asking, she'd be like, okay, fine, you can go to Camp Rock. And I could go to Camp Rock and I could, live out my fantasies. Shane Gray would fall in love with me. Everyone would be happy. Did not happen, which is so crazy. Because after Percy Jackson, a camp in Long Island became Camp Half-Blood. Like, you learned how to do archery, you bunked, you got quote unquote chosen by your godly parent. Like, that's so cool. Why didn't they do that with Camp Rock? Is it because there's already music camps? I don't want to go to band camp. I want to go to Camp Rock, where I can learn stupid little quote unquote hip hop moves taught to me by Shane Gray, and I could step into the studio and sing, "This is real, this is me, I'm exactly." I was so certain I'd be able to write on my resume one day that I went to Camp Rock, but no, they fumbled the bag. So what I think I totally would have done different with Camp Rock is the second one. I would completely change the moral of the story, because that just didn't make sense. Like, Camp Rock did not have to lose. Both campers would have learned a lesson with Camp Rock still winning. And what I think should have been done is that instead of that second part of the thing, I think right from the beginning, Camp Star and Camp Rock campers should be feuding. They should be like, "I hope you're ready for the time of your life," pretty early on in the movie. Just look at me, I put a gleam in your eye. Buckle up, I'm gonna take you for a ride. Sorry, sometimes the music just takes me places. Anyway, I think that's, bada bing, bada boom. Then, halfway through, Camp Counselor Brown, the guy who runs Camp Rock, comes up to Camp Star guy. Let me see. Let me go look at the cast list again. So I think he should go up to, "I hope you're ready for the time of your life. Just look at me, I'll put a gleam in your eye. Buckle up, I'm gonna take you for a ride." They don't have his name down. Ooh, I'm on Camp Rock, like the first one. Maybe I should go on Camp Rock 2, the final jam. Yeah, that's what I should have done. So, I think his name is Axel Turner. Okay, so I think Brown Cesario should have gone up to Axel Turner. I'll call him Mr. Camp Star and Mr. Camp Rock, okay? I think Mr. Camp Rock should have come up to Mr. Camp Star and said, "Dude, I'm sorry that the band kicked you out. You have to admit that you were a little too rowdy and were bad for our band's image. I'm so sorry, but think about the kids. We don't want these kids to get such a sour experience from competing like this, that they never want to touch music again. And, because they're adults, and I think we should we should have been teaching kids that adults should be, acting mature and like adults." That Camp Star guy will be like, "As much as I don't want to admit it, you're right, homie. You're completely correct. Like, we should totally, squash this feud for the sake of our kids. I'm sorry that I parked my camp right next to you. I'm sorry. And then Mr. Camp Star, Mr. Camp Rock can be like, yeah, well, like I said, I'm sorry that we kicked you out of the band. And Mr. Camp Star can be like, yeah, well, I'm sorry that I acted pretty rowdy. Honestly, I feel like I kind of deserved it. And then they could make up like that. And then their thing could be like, oh, but like, I don't know, like, my camp's already here. So much money got put into this camp, which I feel like I should bring up. Camp Star had AC, full-on industrial walls. They were cement walls. They weren't cabins. They were walls. They had full-blown recording studios. They had I remember they're like the best choreographers, best like vocal coaches of all America, at this camp. No matter how big of a rock star these two are, that's a lot of money. So Camp Star most definitely had 50, 100 million, 1,000 backers. So a lot was riding on them winning the competition. And now that a lot of kids are like, nope, I'm going to go to Camp Rock because you are mean, he's going to be out of money. He's going to be, like, his whole family's going to be screwed over. His poor daughter, the nice girl, the girl who's now married to Adam Devine, not Levine, Devine, Dana, Chloe Bridges, Dana Turner. Poor Dana would have to deal with the aftermath of her father failing. Like, would her father even let her enroll into Camp Rock? That poor girl's going to never be able to touch music ever again. Let's be real. They're all nepotism babies. She would have been fine without Camp Rock or Camp Star, but still, that blows. So, that's that. Anyway, yeah, so what are we gonna do? Competition. And, obviously, Mitchie, Shane, a bunch of the other campers, campers who are, we're over the fighting by now. This could include Tess, this could not include Tess, but they could be like, sorry that we overheard, but we hate the fighting too. I think that we should merge camps. And then because Disney loves that trope. The trope where the character that they one-dimensionally decided was stupid says something super duper smart and planned out. That so Ella is like, oh, why don't we just merge camps? And everyone turns to her. It's like, what? I just think it'd be pretty beneficial. We can merge the camps. I'm a stand-in. I'm Ella. So my reasoning for that, why I think that Camp Rock and Camp Star should have merged into, get this, Camp Rock Star. Camp Rock / Star. It could be the same way that districts work, like school districts in America works, where one district can have high schools, middle schools, but they're all a part of the same district. And that can kind of be like Camp Rock and Camp Star. So there will be Team Rock, Camp Star. There'll be Camp Rock and Camp Star, Team Star and Team Rock. And Camp Rock can still be the woodsy, more lighthearted, I guess more beginner type music. You you learn how to play the instruments, you really focus on the fun of music, but say at some point you want to graduate over to Camp Star or maybe start at Camp Star. Camp Star is going to be more the intermediate or advanced part of music. So you had your fun with music, you know who you are with music. Now it's time to learn about music theory. It's time to learn about producing, actually have studio time, work with the best instructors like they've established Camp Star had. And it's more targeted towards older kids. I think that'd be so smart, because if they joined camps, the only thing separating them is a tiny little creek or something. So if kids from Camp Star are like, ugh, I need to cool down, I need to, relax a little bit, they can take a little canoe boat thing, whatever, all the way to over to Camp Star so they can, bonfire, water balloon fights, do the same thing that the other kids are doing, and, like that. And even if a kid wants to go to Camp Star or Camp Rock, but maybe take a few lessons from the other camp, they can do like a hybrid program. So, for example, if I were a rich kid and I was able to go to Camp Rock or Camp Star, let's say Camp Rock Star starts from 5th grade, like grade 5, to your senior year of high school. I think high school. Yeah. As a kid, as me, I would have went to Camp Rock 5th grade to 8th grade. I would do Camp Rock full on, create friends, create connections, because everyone there is a nepotism baby. Have a genuinely fun time. Really fuel my love for music. And then my 9th grade, freshman year of high school, I do a hybrid. So depending on wherever my friends were bunking, I'd bunk at Camp Star, Camp Rock, and I would go to Camp Star to hone in on my music and hone in on my music. And then maybe I'd stay at Camp Rock for like the dancing aspect. Go over the pond. I don't know what it was. Was it a lake? I don't know. I'd go over there for like dancing, like instruments that I'm not really good at. Split the difference, and then 10th grade to my senior year, I'd go to Camp Star full time. I would really hone in on the stuff that I was learning, my music, my blah 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 blah. And maybe even like my senior year become like a senior counselor, like a help like the newer kids to Camp Star. And not only would that look good on resumes, it would also just like be fun. It would just be cool. It would just be a fun little experience, the same way that people go to like track camp or like, I don't know, like basketball camp. Like, it's the same thing, but with music. I think that would have been so cool. And the movie, like the second movie, could have totally continued with that in mind. And the whole thing would be like the kids getting used to the merge. Like the kids who aren't completely sold on them being one camp, that should have been the conflict. And at the end of the movie would have been like, we're better together and not apart. Perfect. It would be an amazing end to the movie. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how I would act at Camp Rockstar. I'm going to picture myself at Camp Rockstar as not the most nepotism-y of all the nepotism kids there. Which is, like I said, I think it's so crazy that when Disney was like thinking about how are we going to intimidate Mitchie, will it be that they've been at the camp longer? Will it be that they're more talented than she is? No, I think it should be that she's way poorer than her. No, they're way richer than her, and that they are looking down on her for being poor. That's what we should totally do. Like, what the hell, Disney? Anyway, yeah. I would have, like, on 5th grade, scouted out whatever girl, pal, non-binary peoples, whoever was there, and just be like, ooh, let's be friends. And naturally, when they grow up and they release their first song, and because, nepotism, their song goes viral, and they're like, oh, I have to make the music video now because everybody loves the song, they'll be like, oh my god, Sam, my best friend since 5th grade from Camp Rock, be in my music video. Everyone will be like, oh, who's the girls in blah blah blah's music video? And they'll see me and they'll be like, oh, look, she also has music. And I would be famous and we'd both be famous together. And oh my god. Or even maybe like we grow our music separately, but since being friends with these girls since 5th grade, the parents obviously know me very well. They'd be like, we can help you out. You're a very talented kid. We can help you out. And then we separately grow from the same connection. And then it'll be like a Beanie Feldstein and Ben Platt thing where they got famous separately from each other, but they knew each other when they were growing up. That's like the type of vibe I want, you know? So yeah, I totally would have like honestly, I totally would have slayed that type. I would have made Camp Rockstar my bitch. And the way that I picture my life is that from 5th grade to 8th grade, it was just camp. No, it's from 5th grade to 7th grade. It was just Camp Rock, and then 8th grade Camp Star showed up. We had a little feud, and then we decided to merge the camps together. We merged the camps together, and then my 9th grade, I decided to stay at Camp Rock because, Camp Rock's what I know. I remember the drama from last year. And I'm like, okay, I'll take a few classes at Camp Star. Find out that I really do like Camp Star, and Camp Rock is just like the old me now. I spend the rest of my eligible years at Camp Star. Like, that's totally, like, I feel like that's what a lot of people would have done. And if I'm gonna be honest with the way that Mitchie is, the only reason why Mitchie was so loyal to Camp Rock was because she already went there. She went there for the year. She was itching to go to Camp Rock her entire life. But if we're gonna be honest, if Camp Star was there first, and Camp Star was like the super serious camp, and then Camp Rock, the more fun-loving camp, came up out of nowhere right across from Camp Star, and Mitchie already made these connections at Camp Star, and I was wanting to go to Camp Star, she would have totally been Camp Star. She totally would have been Camp Star if she was on Camp Star in the first place. Like, her only loyalty to the camp is sentimental. And I stand by that. I genuinely do. Yeah. Mitchie, I'm on to you. So yeah, that's what I genuinely feel about Camp Rock, and how Camp Rock should have merged in with Camp Star instead. Because I feel like, because let's say that there isn't an issue with Camp Rock being the one that stays open and Camp Star ending up shutting down because no one wants to go to Camp Star anymore. Say that's actually what happened. It's not like Camp Rock would have been able to grab the facilities, I don't think Camp Rock would have been able to afford adding those buildings to their thing, It's just mental to me. Because they're gonna take all like the studio stuff from Camp Star? No, because technically I feel like those things belong to the backers. If a company like Lennox, is that the name of it? I'll go with it. Let's say that Apple is backing Camp Star's music program. So all of the amps, microphones, guitars, all the instruments technically belong to not to Camp Star, but to Apple. If Camp Star shuts down, Apple's just going to take back all those instruments and gear. All the gear is going to go back to them. Like when everyone transfers over to Camp Rock from Camp Star, they're going to be like, this is so much better. Like, morale wise, but I'm not getting the same level of training. I'm not getting the same prestige that I was hoping for. And, that kind of blows. Like, I feel like they really should have thought that through. So if Disney ever wanted to actually create a Camp Rock, I'd love to come in as a counselor. Um, yeah. Mhm. Mhm. I think that I think that will be all for this podcast. Thank you so much for listening in on podcast episode 1 of Who Gave Her a Mic. I rambled on for a little bit longer than I thought I would. I thought I was going to end this at 30. Ended up ending it at around 45. Thank you so much for listening in. I will try to post more and hopefully gain more of a following. Yeah, I just spent this X amount of time talking about how I would have fixed Camp Rock. My name is Samantha Kaye. Hopefully, I'll have guests one day. And God, who gave me a mic?